About 6 months ago, I bought a beautiful little house in a quiet suburban area. It wasn't in an HOA. That was one of the main reasons I bought it. No weird rules, no one measuring my grass with a ruler, no angry letters because my garbage bins weren't hidden behind a magic curtain. But then she showed up. Let me introduce you to Karen. Short, sharp bob haircut. Always wearing a pastel-colored tracksuit. And she spoke like she was the President of the United States, or at least the queen of our street. One afternoon, she walked right up to my porch without knocking. "Hi," she said. "I'm the head of the local HOA. I noticed you haven't submitted your lawn care plan for the summer." 3 weeks later, a lawsuit showed up at my door. Actual legal papers. According to Karen and her totally real-sounding HOA called Whispering Oaks Extended Community Council, I was in violation of community standards, and they were demanding I repay my mailbox, install approved fencing, pay $1,200 in back HOA dues. Here's the kicker. My property wasn't even in their map. I double-checked with the county office. I wasn't part of any HOA. I called the number listed on the legal documents and who picks up?
Karen.
She had the nerve to say, "It's easier if you just comply. Most people do." That's when I knew this wasn't just a misunderstanding. It was a scam, wrapped in a pastel jumpsuit and a fake HOA title. And I wasn't going to let it slide. First, I went to the county clerk's office and requested the original HOA documents for Whispering Oaks. Turns out it used to be a legitimate HOA. But here's the twist. It was officially dissolved 11 years ago due to lack of participation and unpaid fees. No board. No legal filings. No tax ID. No nothing. But Karen? She never let it go. Apparently, she'd been pretending to run the old HOA like it still existed. She even made her own letterhead and was charging neighbors dues under the table. Most people paid just to avoid the headache. Some thought it was real. I took this info to a local attorney, and he basically laughed. "This is open and shut. She has no legal authority. Actually, you could probably dissolve whatever is left of this HOA yourself." Wait, I could dissolve it? Legally? Yup. According to state law, if no board exists and no members vote to reinstate it, any local homeowner can submit dissolution paperwork, and once approved, the HOA is officially done. I filed the paperwork online right there in the lawyer's office. It took less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes later, HOA Karen's fantasy government no longer existed.
Poof.
Gone. Now came the fun part, court day. I showed up, calm and collected, armed with county property maps, the original HOA's dissolution paperwork, a notarized letter from the county clerk, and the receipt from my legal dissolution. Karen showed up with a binder the size of a toddler, filled with printed-out emails, photos of my lawn, and even a screenshot of my garbage cans not being pulled in until the next morning. The judge looked confused. "Ms. Karen," he said slowly, "you're suing someone under an HOA that doesn't legally exist?" Karen smirked. "It exists. We've operated under the Whispering Oaks Extended Council for years." I handed the judge my documents. He flipped through them, then paused. "You dissolved the HOA?" "Yes, Your Honor. 3 minutes after I learned it had been inactive for over a decade. It met every legal requirement for a dissolution." Karen turned red, then purple. "He can't do that. I am the president." The courtroom chuckled. The judge cleared his throat and said, "You can't be president of something that doesn't exist. This case is dismissed, and frankly, Ms. Karen, you're lucky you're not being charged with fraud." She stormed out, binder flapping in the wind behind her after the case was thrown out and the HOA officially wiped from existence. Word spread fast through the neighborhood. Turns out, Karen had been scamming people for years, collecting dues, issuing violations, even threatening liens. All based on nothing. Neighbors started comparing notes. Some had paid hundreds. One couple had installed a $5,000 fence just to comply with her fake rules. Once the truth came out, Karen packed up and moved out within 2 months. I guess being the self-declared queen of a non-existent HOA didn't feel so good when the whole village knew the truth.
Today?
I still live in the same house. My lawn grows as wild as I let it. My mailbox is painted in flames because, well, why not? And my garbage bins? Sometimes I leave them out just a little bit longer for the fun of it.